Welcome to Thomas Shoots. I'm Thomas and I'm a practical shooter. A few days ago, I got to shoot the Ipsc Glock Invitational 2022. The match was composed of 995 points over the course of 12 stages. In this video, I'll be taking you through the things I usually do in competition, my highlights, and my biggest learnings. Let's get to it and get to the range. The first thing I like to do when I get to the range is look for the safety area. This is the only place where you can freely handle your gun and prepare things. So in this area, this is where I oil my gun, get my Dryfire reps in, do some reloads. Strictly no ammunition is to be handled in the safety area. After the safety area, I then proceed to registration, where I secure my scorecard, check my division, and see if everything's right.
Agreeing to this, whatever it says, we agree.
After registration, you then are cleared for an equipment check, where range officers will inspect your gear to see if everything fits your division. Talking about gear, let me talk to you about the gear I used in the Glock Invitational. In this match, I'll be shooting my 1911 made by Metrilio Gun Corp, chambered in 9mm. This gun shoots flat and accurate. My belt, holster, and magazine pouches are from Double Alpha Academy. The ammunition I shot in this match are 138 grain Teflon bullets, going at about 950 feet per second. Now that we're all set, let's look at the highlights. Stage number 2 was composed of 150 points, 13 paper targets, 4 steel targets, one of which was an activator to a moving target. My plan here was to engage the activator first and then move out the 2 paper targets. Sprint to the next port, do a quick reload, and engage these targets properly. One more reload and engage 3 paper targets on my left. Pause on the far steel and engage the right paper, then finish strong with one more reload. I like this stage because it forced you to shoot and move while being accurate as well. It forced you to be dynamic with your shooting skill set as a practical shooter. The challenge there was also the far steel targets, wherein you really had to focus, get your sights down, and wait for the shot to break. It wasn't like a near paper target in which you just fling in some bullets and hope it connects. The moving swinger, the moving target. I personally think I need improvement in that area because I dropped Delta and that wasn't that good. The stage garnered me 144 total match points, which accounted for pretty much 12% of my performance. So yeah, that stage was pretty cool. On to the next one. This stage was a fairly short stage that consisted of 80 points, all paper targets, 8 of them to be exact. One of them was a moving target activated by a window that you'd have to push. The stage is fairly simple, but then for me it was one of the highlights because this was the first time that I'd be pushing a window to open a swinger. The stage plan here was to move far back enough to see both targets, sprint to the next port, and then engage 2 targets inside the window. Do a quick reload, push the window open while keeping my gun up, and then engage the rest of the targets. It turned out pretty okay, but again, my moving target consisted of 2 Charlies, and you generally don't want that when you're shooting. You definitely want more Alphas, not too many Charlies, and my moving target had 2 of them. So again, I think I need improvement there. And now for our last highlight, my biggest learning for this match. This stage was composed of 60 points in total. It consisted of 4 paper targets and 4 steel targets. It was a short course, fairly simple. You had to squat to see the plates and move around to see the rest of the paper targets. My plan was to move to the right to see 2 paper targets, and then move to the middle port while doing a squat and hitting those 4 steel targets, and then lastly, getting to that last port and seeing the last 2 targets. So the problem that went on with that stage was my last position. I engaged that last paper target just at the borderline of the window. So when I threw those shots, the 2 bullets kind of grazed the window port and probably went off track. What happened there was that I got 2 misses instead of 2 alphas or an alpha Charlie. The lesson here is to really not skimp on positioning and to really see the targets as much as you can, because if not, you might just get a miss or 2 or a delta or just these bad things that contribute to your whole your performance as a whole. With regards to all of these scores in Ipsc, I might make another video explaining all of that, but the general gist is that you have to be fast and accurate. So if you're fast but you can't hit anything, that won't do you well. But if you're accurate and really slow and you're taking your time, that won't work as well. So you have to be fast and accurate. My performance was enough to nab me 3rd place, which I'm pretty happy about, but then we could always use some improvement. So those were the stages I enjoyed the most in the Glock Invitational 2022. There are always areas to improve on when you're shooting, and you never stop learning pretty much. And the only way to start learning is when you make mistakes, and from those mistakes you gain wisdom and you continue to improve. The fun also came from seeing my fellow shooters. In practical shooting, there's a really strong and welcoming community that continues to push you to improve, be better, go faster, be more accurate, and it's generally nice to be around them on a weekend and, you know, have some fun, go to the range and shoot. I'll try to keep doing these videos to keep track of my progress in the big competitions and see if it works. Now it's back to Dryfire and training on the range. I'll see you in the next one.